What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, with another edition of Where, Pick, and Dare, where I pick games for the various games that are occurring tomorrow. Whether it's football, baseball, basketball, basically whatever games I want to pick, I will pick them. With all that being said, on with the video. NBA. Boston Celtics versus Philadelphia 76ers, Game 3. So this is part of the first round of the NBA playoffs. This series is tied 1-1. The Celtics have a 62.8% chance to win. The Sixers have a 37.2% chance to win. This game is at Philadelphia. For injuries, for the Sixers, Embiid is a game time decision. For stats, Sixers have more points per game. Celtics have a higher field goal percentage and more rebounds per game. Assists per game is even. Sixers have more blocks per game and steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the 76ers will beat the Celtics tomorrow. Los Angeles Lakers versus Houston Rockets Game 3. This is part of the first round of the NBA playoffs. The Lakers lead the series 2-0. The Lakers have a 34.1% chance to win. The Rockets have a 65.9% chance to win. This game is at Houston. For injuries, for the Lakers, Reeves a game time decision, and Doncic is out. And for the Rockets, Durant's a game time decision, and Adams and Van Vliet are out. For stats, the Lakers have more points per game, higher field goal percentage. Rockets have more rebounds per game. Lakers have more assists per game. Rockets have more blocks per game, and steals per game is even. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Rockets will beat the Lakers. San Antonio Spurs versus Portland Trailblazers, Game 3. This is part of the first round of the NBA playoffs. The series is tied 1-1. The Spurs have a 67.2% chance to win. The Blazers have a 32.8% chance to win. This game is at Portland. For injuries, for the Spurs, McLaughlin and Jones Garcia are out, and Wembanyama is a game time decision. For the Blazers, Lillard's out. For stats, the Spurs have more points per game, higher field goal percentage, more rebounds per game, assists per game. Blocks per game is even, and Blazers have more steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Trailblazers will beat the Spurs to go up 2-1 the series. College baseball. Texas A&M Aggies versus Florida Gators. This is game one of the series. A&M is 7 nation, 31-7 record. Florida's 21 nation, 28-14 record. This is at Florida. So this could be a good game, but with this being at Gainesville, I think Florida will beat Texas A&M tomorrow. Oklahoma Sooners versus Auburn Tigers. This is game one of the series. Oklahoma's 14 nation, 28-12 record. Auburn's 11 nation, 28-12 record. This game is at Auburn. So yeah, this could be very good, good series. Two very closely ranked teams, the same conference. This could be a good one. I think with this being at Auburn, I think Auburn will beat Oklahoma. Georgia Bulldogs versus Ole Miss Rebels. This is game one of the series. Georgia's 5 nation, 32-10 record. Ole Miss is 17 nation, 30-12 record. This is at Ole Miss. So this could be a good series. It's how good, Georgia's batting is, but with this being at Oxford, which is not an easy place to play, if you're a away team. But yeah, with this being at Ole Miss, I think Ole Miss will beat Georgia tomorrow. MLB. Detroit Tigers versus Cincinnati Reds. The Tigers have a 49.6% chance to win. The Reds have a 50.4% chance to win. This game is at Cincinnati for starting pitchers for the Tigers. Uh, Framber Valdez has a career ERA of 3.36, whip of 1.2. And for the Reds, Andrew Abbott has a career ERA of 3.55, WHIP of 1.27. So that's a good pitching for both teams. Not really seeing a difference here. So yeah, and then for injuries for the Tigers, Scott Efros, Tyler Owens, Troy Watson, Dugan Darnell are on 7-day IL, and Zach McKinstry's on 10-day IL. And for the Reds, Alex Young's out, Lolo and Caleb Ferguson are on 15-day IL, Jose Trevino's on 10-day IL, and Josh DeMounts on 7-day IL. For stats, the Tigers have a higher batting average, more runs, hits. Uh, Reds have more home runs. Tigers have a higher on base percentage, slugging percentage, ERA. Reds have more walks plus hits per inning pitched, and then more walks. Uh, Tigers have more strikeouts and a higher opposing batting average. So yeah, so these stats, the one's really a big difference is the hits. Like that's a big difference. But outside that, it's pretty close. Like I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Reds will beat the Tigers. Pittsburgh Pirates versus Milwaukee Brewers. The Pirates have a 45.5% chance to win. The Brewers have a 54.5% chance to win. This game is at Milwaukee. For starting pitchers, for the Pirates, Paul Skeens has a career ERA at 2.05, WHIP of 0.95. And for the Brewers, Brandon Woodruff has a career ERA of 3.11, WHIP of 1.03. So that's a good pitching for both teams. Definitely a big advantage for the Pirates. So for stats, well, for injuries, for the Pirates, Don Fletcher, Anthony Solometo are on 7-day IL, Jared Triolo's on 10-day IL, Jared Jones and Sean Sullivan on 60-day IL. For the Brewers, JB Bukaskas is on 7-day IL, Jack Corios on 10-day IL, Jared Koenig, Quinn Priester on 15-day IL, Andrew Vaughn's on 10-day IL. For stats, the Pirates have a higher batting average, more runs, hits, home runs. Brewers have a higher on base percentage. Pirates have a higher slugging percentage. Uh, Brewers have a higher ERA and have more walks plus hits per inning pitched. Pirates have more walks, strikeouts. Brewers have higher opponent batting average. So yeah, these stats, relatively pretty generally close. I mean, the hits number, that's a definite advantage for the Pirates, but the rest are closer to where. And but so that's a big thing, but also so home field advantage will help, but the starting pitching advantage for the Pirates, that's gonna be a big thing. So that with hits, that's gonna really help. So I think the Pirates will beat the Brewers tomorrow. The Athletics versus the Texas Rangers. The A's have a 32.5% chance to win. The Rangers have a 67.5% chance to win. This game is at Texas. For starting pitchers for the A's, Luis Severino has a career ERA of 3.97, WHIP of 1.22. And for the Rangers, Nathan Eovaldi has a career ERA of 3.91, WHIP of 1.25. So that's a good pitching for both teams. Not really seeing a difference here. So for injuries, for the A's, Brent Rooker's on 10-day IL and Gunnar Hoglund's on 60-day IL. For the Rangers, Jack Lyers day to day, Harder Baumler, Luis Carvalho, and Chris Martin on 15-day IL, and Cody Freeman's on 10-day IL. For stats, the A's have a higher batting average, more runs, hits, home runs, higher on base percentage. Rangers have a higher slugging percentage. A's have higher ERA, more walks plus hits per inning pitched, more walks. Uh, Rangers have more strikeouts, and A's have a higher opponent batting average. So yeah, this could be a interesting one. So I think with how these stats are, I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Rangers will beat the Athletics tomorrow. Chicago Cubs versus Los Angeles Dodgers. The Cubs have a 37% chance to win. The Dodgers have a 63% chance to win. This game is at LA. For starting pitchers, for the Cubs, Jamison Taylor has a career ERA of 3.87, WHIP of 1.19, and for the Dodgers, Emmett Sheehan has a career ERA of 4.04, WHIP of 1.11. So that's good pitching for Taylor, not really good pitching for Sheehan. For injuries, for the Cubs, Jeff Brigham, Jackson Wiggins, and Trent Thornton on 7-day IL. Caleb Thielbar's day-to-day, and Phil Maton's 15-day IL. For the Dodgers, Brock Stewart, Landon Knack, Ben Kasperius, and Blake Snell are on 15-day IL, and Bookie Betts is on 10-day IL. For stats, the Dodgers have a higher batting average, more runs, hits, home runs, on base percentage, higher slugging percentage, ERA. Cubs have more walks plus hits per inning pitched. Dodgers have more walks, strikeouts, and Cubs have a higher opponent batting average. So these stats, I would say, are the only stats really big ones is the team ERA. Well, team well, these are close. So yeah, so this is a good. This could be a good game, with how close everything is. Like I think home, so. Yeah, so I mean, home field advantage will definitely help the Dodgers, as it's been proven the past few weeks. But I think the starting pitching advantage for the Cubs is gonna be a bigger thing here. So I think the Cubs will beat the Dodgers. And that's it for picks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my picks. Do you agree with them? Do you not? If you have different picks, you can put them in the comments. But other than that, please like, subscribe, and all that. Thank you for listening and look forward to the next video.